looking for
warm-up
music.
Oh, shut up, Hannah. Stop trying to be entertaining. Okay.
Oh no!
Okay. Hey, Jack.
Johnny on the
Jack,
spot.
can you just turn that off, please? Okay, are we ready, guys? Am I in focus?
Yes.
What's the wide shot like? Okay, folks, you literally don't know
So
the
you're
amount
gonna
of
drink
hassle.
from the
Do
bottle?
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah?
There's no focus.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've kind of got no choice, do I?
No. Yeah,
Okay,
we
this is...
can- Yeah,
We
yeah.
could just sip. We could
Okay.
we could share.
Yeah, I can drink from.
Or we
from
could
the-
share it.
Yeah.
Do you want to share it? I'm quite
Yes,
happy to share. Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to
I hope
have
we're
with
not gonna
us
fight over it.
Kieron Walsh, who directed the first series of The Savage Eye. And Jack, do you want to fucking introduce the fucking show? No, Jack, not that music. Come on, Jack. Come on, just introduce the show, will you?
It's just the same music.
Just introduce the show, Jack.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to And That's Why We're Not Together, starring David McSavage, Hannah Andrews, and special guest for tonight, Kieron Walsh.
Kieron J Walsh.
Kieron J Walsh.
Kieron J Walsh, and thank you, my princes Jack and Daniel. Someday this kingdom will be yours. Okay, Kieron, you're drinking whiskey sours. Do you like them?
Now I do. I didn't know.
Did you,
I never.
what
I
do
haven't
you,
sipped it yet.
It's okay, I think. Especially if you're desperate.
Actually, it's quite a nice cocktail. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
oh, it's as strong, is it?
Well, you know, it's got a.
It's
Kick.
got a kick to it.
Yeah, it's got a kick. Yeah.
Whiskey sour.
It's the
Whiskey-
sour thing that's lovely.
I think this is the first time we've had booze on the... Although Hannah was microdosing a few episodes ago.
Yes, yes.
She was microdosing, Kieron.
How did that go?
Very good.
No, she
I
kept
felt-
on. She kept on interrupting me.
Well, because
also,
I was flowing. I knew more.
actually, this is
I was
gonna.
really
This is actually.
sharp.
Also, can I just say that I thought it would be a good idea at some point to do a séance here, a
Séance?
séance.
Oh, yeah.
With the candles and everything.
To get in touch with the dead people, because I watched
Channeling.
that
I
film.
am channel.
Okay, folks, as you can see, there's no focus here. Kieron J Walsh, director, and made many films. Your first film, I believe, was not Brendan and Trudy, was it?
Well, that was the first cinema film. That
The
was
first cinema film.
A feature film.
Yeah.
But I'd done a lot of.
What was the first big short? You remember with the spluttering water? There was a gutter.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Was that the first short film?
That was Bossa Nova Blues. That was
Yeah,
done
right.
in college.
Which won awards and everything.
It did, and it sold to the BBC and all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah. How long have you been a director?
Oh my God.
Well, I've been a comedian 30 years.
So it must be 30 years
Yeah.
then. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on whether you consider when you're in college whether you're a director or not. You weren't
So-
being paid. Although when you sell the films and you get the money, it's kind of being paid. So, you know.
So me and Kieron went to the same school, Blackrock College, and I charged them with wasting my childhood because a lot of people, they blame the children for not doing well at school. Well, I'm turning that on its head, and I'm blaming the teachers in that school for not being good enough and not presenting us the subject in a way that they were fucking engaging. And I want my fucking money back.
Good luck with that, Dave. You know, but I do understand what you're saying because I recall the general consensus for anybody doing anything that wasn't like business studies, economics, maths, and you know all of those things. If you decided you wanted to do art, right? Art, people just like DOS class. DOS class. Where are you going now? I'm going to art. Oh, DOS class.
Yeah.
Just DOS class.
Yeah,
you know?
that's right, yeah.
No respect at all.
None.
Music was for weirdos, like, you know, studying music or whatever. So it was a really fusty traditional way of teaching and learning
And sort of basic
and
life...
violent
and-
actually as
and,
well.
yeah, and basic life skills, you know, like just the importance of, you know, paying your fucking rent and all that sort of stuff. Or just being entrepreneurial was kind of also looked down on.
They would never think that was important. Like they would go, "What do you mean pay your rent?"
Yeah.
You know, that's a given. Not like you might struggle. There's no such thing as like you might struggle in life. Things might not go your way. It's kind of like that God-given. Everything's, you know, we are Blackrock College. We are the students, and we are the leaders of the future. Like
And real corrupt little bastards. There's a vibe there. It's not the place you would look to for moral guidance.
morally corrupt,
Okay.
But
sexually
But
corrupt.
can
Yes.
we say
Yes.
that most of people who finish Blackrock College, they turned out pretty well? No? Am I wrong?
No.
Well,
you're just
sorry,
thinking of Bob
Hannah,
Geldof.
most of the people that turned out you're talking about that came out of Blackrock College did something that Blackrock College definitely didn't want them to do, like me and Dave and Bob Geldof, and like that was not in their plan. You know, comedian, filmmaker, you know what I mean? They were just like
They should be begging us to go back to them and taking classes. And
never once have they been in touch.
But they should be.
Have they been in touch with
If
you?
I was the principal of Blackrock College, David, would you come and talk? I'd love to.
Yeah.
Of course I'd love
Talk
to.
about what?
You see? Talk about what? I talk
I mean,
about.
in Blackrock
Hey
College,
guys, don't
just-
underestimate the importance of creating wealth. I mean, it is an important thing
But
to
I
do.
think that's
And
what they taught in.
No, they didn't. They kind of
Like
no.
business,
They just set out
economics.
prescribed routes that everybody's taken for hundreds of fucking years. You go to university, you do your lawyer, and you do this, and it's all set out and it's been lived 1,000 times, and it's safe. And anything outside of that, it's kind of like hotel foyer. They sort of panic, and if you don't fit into that thing, but that's fine. Anyway, they couldn't fuck with me because I was a force of nature, as I think probably Kieron was as well. The first time I remember you, we were all up in the rec room or something, and you had a band called Shattered, and I can't remember this song. You were playing a cover of something.
Under My Thumb, was it?
Under My Thumb.
By Rolling Stones.
And you were playing drums.
Yeah.
Did you drink all that, you fat bastard?
I really I'm just shocked. I'm asking listeners to appeal to you to use a different language.
No, but I mean, you don't even drink Lucozade, and just because you see me do it, you drink these. And now
No,
I have
I
ADHD,
drank
and suddenly,
Lucozade because I was working
and suddenly
all the
you're
time
saying-
putting wallpaper
suddenly
on,
you're saying
so-
you have ADHD now, do you?
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Because ADHD appears differently in girls than in boys. So the boys are all fidgety and can't manage the time.
Yeah.
But the girls, they turn it internally. So,
How do you notice that?
so they would be, let's say, missing appointments.
I see. Okay.
Just criticizing themselves, turning to like self-hate.
Low self-esteem.
Low self-esteem.
So
eating
ADHD
disorder.
would be becomes low self-esteem.
Yeah,
Wow.
eating disorder.
Drinking too much.
Yeah, go ahead, caller.
Anorexia or
Yeah,
too much,
eating
or,
disorder. Yeah, too much.
And tell us,
depressed,
how did that make you feel?
Yeah.
Depression.
How depressed were you?
Hang on a second.
Anxious.
Yeah.
I'm just having a good old wank here in the studio. Yeah. So sorry, folks, ladies and gentlemen, and I apologise. And let's move on. Actually, it's funny. So I do remember this because it was a rare enough occasion where a band, especially from Blackrock College. So it
was an open day, wasn't it?
Probably, I can't remember exactly. But I do remember going up to you, and because the band was called Shattered, so I was like 15. Hey, hi, how you doing? Yeah, I was really shattered.
After that performance,
Yeah, I was
really
trying
shattered me.
because, like, in other words, because I thought that was a really funny thing to say to
And
somebody
it
who's
went
in a
down well,
band
yeah.
called Shattered.
And David, you had your own band as
Oh,
well.
Jesus Christ!
But
yeah,
like, did you
This is
set
Peter and the
it
pelvic
up?
push buttons.
yeah, the pelvic push buttons.
The pelves.
The pelves. It was
And you
called.
were
It was called. We
touring-
also were called skinny priests at the first one because there was never skinny priests. There were always fat bastards and
Yeah.
all the priests.
And I remember when I met you, you were just sort of making me listen to those tracks like over and over again.
Really?
I was making you listen to what?
Hang on. Was there
the
recordings?
Yeah. On your tape, you had a tape
Oh,
with the songs, and you were playing that to me.
God.
Yeah,
But I think I was quite impressed, thinking it's a new Bob
You're still
Geldof.
here. The new Bob Geldof. My
talk into
goodness.
the fucking microphone.
I
No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking.
This is
Okay.
just a joke. This
No, that's
is
that's
not
the
real.
We should actually that should have been the name of the podcast. Talk into the fucking microphone.
That's the subtext.
But and then you went from Blackrock. So Kieron has really directed an awful lot of stuff. Stuff in BBC you did recently was the guys from League of Gentlemen.
Inside Number 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was definitely one of the greatest comedy shows ever, League of Gentlemen.
Oh right, okay.
League of
okay.
Gentlemen.
Yeah, League of Gentlemen. It was the first show they did, and then they did one called Psychoville, and then they did one called Inside Number 9.
Well, League of Gentlemen.
It was it was pretty out there. League of Gentlemen.
It was right up my.
They were in
strata.
blackface and everything at one stage. If you remember, there was a character.
Yeah, you never.
No, it wasn't
I
supposed to be black.
I thought it was.
spooky.
I didn't think it was blackface. I didn't know what that.
It wasn't.
Oh, Papa Lazarus.
Yes, Papa
Yeah,
Lazarus,
yeah.
which is a Greek name. So
Yeah, yeah.
and he was ridiculous. But he was like done like a minstrel, really, a kind of scary minstrel. You know what I mean? White eyes and a black face, and then long hair.
I thought he was an evil clown. I didn't get. But that's maybe
Clowns and minstrels, they're all kind of in the same kind of
I'd just
world.
like to apologize for everything and thank you.
Yeah.
But one of the favorite characters was these shop owners who couldn't handle. They've been there for so long, so anything outside of their understanding.
Are you local?
Local.
Yeah.
And they murdered people who weren't local.
This is a local shop for local people.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you local?
It was great. What was her name? Tubbs.
Yeah.
Anyway, brilliant.
So that was good. That was good actually. Doing that show, it was, you know, they've been doing it. They're on there. There's going to be 9 seasons of that show.
Fucking hell.
I know. Can you believe it? 9 seasons of it. And to be honest, I wasn't familiar with it when I was asked to do it. So that weekend I watched
shame on
every episode of it. I'd heard of it, right? But I went home and watched all the seasons. Like there's 6 episodes in each season, and there was 7 seasons, and I watched them all that weekend. And I thought to myself, I'll watch a couple of these. But actually, as soon as you start watching them, you go like, I want to watch another one. They're so good, you know, so good, and they're so different to each other. Some of them aren't comedies at all.
Yes.
Not at all. They're made under the brand of comedy. In fact, arguably the ones that I did wouldn't be necessarily comedy, traditional comedy. Very dark comedy, you know.
Yeah, I like me comedy dark. The regular public, like the scumbags the regular public, what would they be surprised about, you know, with filmmaking? What do they what
the length of time it takes to get a film off the ground.
You said that without even
thinking. Yeah.
That was just like
Why
what do you think people think? When
they
it
just
comes
think,
to film?
you just stand up, you just basically turn up and you just make it up as you go along.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
they just make up the words.
They know there's a script, but
but not really.
They don't think it's just like you're a director. Sure, I'll go and start filming on Tuesday.
You just stand over there and you just point your camera this way, and you know, I mean, you know, I think the length of time it takes to get a film off the ground, on average, a low budget film here in this part of the world, including Britain in that as well, probably most of Europe, is minimum of 5 years.
Yeah.
To get a film off the ground.
And an Irish film, the same.
Oh, yeah. And that's with all the things like Screen Ireland and Tax Break and all of those things. All of these things have to line up, you know.
And advice to young filmmakers, if you want to get your tax break, you have to, in the themes of all Irish films, it has to be rainy, wet, grey, child abuse,
miserable,
alcoholic father,
priests, obviously.
And that's it.
But still, we do need it. Just to, Irish people didn't really face up to reality, what really happened. No, I think it has to be shown and again and again and again to clear the space.
Yeah, I can't wait for the next one.
But then but you can do these films
in a comedy
and
way.
these ideas,
comedy.
exactly like Calvary, right?
Oh yeah,
you know, which is about a priest and a small Irish rainy town, and and it attacks the kind of small-mindedness of small Irish towns, and this priest being with a fatwa over his head. I know it's
directed by John McDonough, my good friend. I will be staying in his house in a few weeks while he's off gallivanting around the place. I had a scene with Brendan Gleeson in that film.
Oh yeah, and he gave you chalice at the end.
Yeah.
I just thought
it was so cool.
He gave you what?
I was so in awe.
Chalice.
The chalice. All right. Okay.
Like I came in. I vaguely remember because I had. Oh yeah, I was playing a bishop, and he was coming to me for advice, and so I was actually in a room with Brendan Gleeson talking over the scene, and I was going, yeah, no, I think it should be, and he's just like, yeah, and then he said something, just like. That I hadn't thought of in a million years. That was so much better than anything I thought of, and I just thought, oh Jesus!
A line?
Christ. No, he's just. I think to be a good actor, it's almost like, you're like a private investigator. You can just see things that only normally people would see after seeing the film a few times. They can just see it instantly. Anyway, this guy, he's just got some kind of fucking presence. Remember, Jerry McSorley was the same. There's certain people where I'd say, what's our friend's name that we did the podcast with, who looks like Brendan Behan? Gary Lydon. There's just certain people. The light,
inhabit a space. Don't
the light
they?
just goes into them.
Yeah. And you just want to look at them, actually.
Yeah.
On the screen.
Yeah. But anyway.
But like years of practice. Brendan Gleeson, he's done a lot of work. So when
they have gimmicks and techniques.
Oh,
the same with Gary Lydon. When I did my first and only stage thing. What was it called? Fucking
The Pillow Man.
The Pillow Man, which I never really, God forgive me, understood the point of. I mean, I never really got it. I never got the point
but
of it.
But it was good for you for consistency and for work ethic. I think it was really good because you had to learn the lines and you have to say them and you have to remember them and you have to do it every day. And you had to learn how to project
at some point,
so
I felt that I was
you.
so bad, and I wasn't good in that thing. And I felt it was so bad. I thought the whole point of theatre was just line remembering, and just that was the whole point. And then it was like, come on, let's go and watch people remember loads of lines. It's quite a feat.
It was a touch of that, wasn't it?
And and Jesus Christ, I got it right one or two. But the problem was there were certain actors. I couldn't stand them, and then I couldn't look at them because they talk, and then I'd be like, and then somebody said, mate, you're just gonna have to look at these people. Because it'll fuck you up and them up because you have to react to what they're saying. But anyway, Gary Lydon in particular in that production, he just had a way about him that he could just make it work, just just because.
So did you find it excruciating to do that?
No, I found that I was so stuck in the groove of like the lines I'd remembered. I'd do that. When I said that line, and if I did anything outside
you'd forget the next line.
I'd be going,
oh, I see. Okay. So there was no freedom there.
So
at all.
no, I was fucked.
Yeah,
I hadn't got a clue. But I guess I learned a lot, and I always wanted to be in an ensemble. But it's be careful what you wish for because the kind of fucking idiots that you're in the ensemble with. So, but Gary Lydon, it was a great, and there was a lot of good young actors in there, but. Anyway, I didn't understand. I wish I hadn't agreed to it, but I was quite vulnerable.
I think it was a great
I was quite
experience.
vulnerable at the time, and also because my ex-girlfriend Fiona Shaughnessy was an actor in theatre. I wanted to follow in her footsteps and see what it was like to be her. It was pathetic, a very weak position, and I forgive myself. Let's move on.
Okay. And there was no pillows in it either.
Oh,
was there?
No, there wasn't.
There was
and
no,
the thing
pillows.
is, it had such great reviews, and people loved this play. And Martin McDonagh wrote it in about a fucking minute.
Dave, Martin McDonagh could just basically hand in a telephone directory, and they would make it into something. You know what I mean? If he's got his name on the bottom of it, because he can do no wrong now.
Yeah.
And
well,
I'm not saying that there
but
was.
he did do good things, interesting, like films.
100%.
Well, speaking interestingly, because you were saying, this whole idea of me being in such a weak position and desperate for people's friendship and not understanding, like somebody should have taken me aside. David, it doesn't work like that. You can't. Can I be your? And so in the film Banshees of Inisherin, there was one particular scene. Where Colin Farrell's character, so you're the Brendan Gleeson character, and literally Colin Farrell was like, no, he couldn't get his fucking noggin around the fact that Brendan Gleeson, don't want to see it, and he just he couldn't get it, and I totally identified with Colin Farrell, but he's such a clever guy, Martin, because he puts it all into structure and there's a historical background, and what's happening in this small thing is mimicking the big thing. Yeah. And he's such a smart guy. I don't know how he fucking does it.
I think he researches the thing.
But he's so goofy when you meet him. But isn't he so goofy when you meet him? And he's so silly. He's so much fun.
Silly, entertaining, and
but then he's got
boy.
Yeah, what the fuck?
You wouldn't think that he was so clever.
Is that an act?
I don't know. I just think that he is like that. He likes.
But you're very silly as well.
I
And
think
then-
silliness is a very underrated virtue.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
really, I mean,
it's like
the
a
si-
childlike.
Because that's how.
Silly,
Kieron.
silly.
Me and Kieron discovered early on about the absurdity of this society, that this experiment that we live in. And I remember, like, you'd see people on buses, like this is in 1986 and 87, and people would stop on buses.
Americans.
And they'd all be public transport face.
Okay.
And then me and Kieran would go up to the windows and just go, like this. And they wouldn't know what the fuck.
No,
and
you
would
start
be-
waving at them. They were American tourists. You start like, oh my God, look at those guys. Hey, friendly
Yeah, yeah,
Irish
yeah.
guys. And then we'd be going, and they were like, oh my God,
But I mean-
what's wrong with those guys?
But
They
we
just
didn't
let out for the day.
We didn't need computer games. I mean, we would be crying, laughing, and it is that I defy anybody to anything funnier than that. That was
Yeah,
it.
the-
That was the funniest thing I've ever done.
That was-
Going up to bus windows
Yeah.
and just some Mary Cantwell. Putting it on for dear, like 68 years of old. I've just been to a Super Quinn, and we're just going.
Do you remember the we used to go into
So sad.
Penny's or Dunn's or one of these places and into the clothing department, and you'd hide down in one bit of the sort of rack of clothes, and I'd hang in the other, and then all of a sudden, and there was people shopping and doing,
Yeah.
mostly.
Would you jump out?
We just go. All of a sudden, Dave would just go like. He'd put his head up like that, and then I'd go.
Oh yeah.
The half-crazed loon bird coming up over the shop.
Yeah.
And
We'd
people
be-
were just
we'd
like,
be-
and then we'd just go down, so they go like
We were doing
What was that?
mating calls.
mating calls across the shop, Malalahi, Malalahi.
Will you get you, Kieron Walsh, you haven't
Changed a snit.
a knit, you little scut.
I do remember the first time I ever saw you, Dave. You think it was maybe it was in the Blackrock College when you came up to me, but I don't remember. Did I kind of diss you as if like who are you?
No, you were just
Groupie?
no,
Or
you,
was I
yeah, no,
friendly
you
enough?
were kind of like, hey, thanks. Man.
You were cool.
Yeah.
Too cool.
You have to be. But I remember because your sister went to play group that my mother taught at. Do you remember this?
No.
My mother taught in this play group in Hyde Park, and you came in to pick her up
Kieron
one
J
day.
Walsh's mother is like one of the nicest people you'll ever meet in your life. And Rose, I mean, she's the Norman Rockwell image of the perfect mom.
Apple
And
pies.
She'd make apple pies. Such a sweet, sweet person. Hallelujah.
Yeah, and she's very fond of you. As well.
Yeah. Very nice lady.
But so she, what were we talking about?
We were talking about my sister being
Oh
in
yeah,
the
so
same play.
she was in some play group, and you came one day to pick her up.
Oh.
Now you were very young. You were probably about like 10 or 12, and you just kind of looked across the room. And I was in there. I don't know what I was doing in there. I think I was like taking photographs of the kids or something like that. And
Taking
Photographs.
that sounds terrible. No, I was given a job to do portraits of all the children.
Your Honor.
Your Honor.
I was given a job. No.
And you were there, and you just kind of looked at me, and you had these big Randy Van Warmer glasses, the dewdrop glasses, aviator kind of things, and just looked at me. Anyway, and then years later, you came to the house.
Yeah, we met. I think I was
Nathan
friendly
my
with
brother,
Nathan,
yes.
and then I met you, and we.
And I started slagging you about having
Yeah.
these Randy Van Warmer glasses, and took you by surprise because you didn't expect to be slagged because you're normally the person doing the slagging.
And then I slagged you.
Yeah,
And then you started crying. No.
That's it.
No, we did. We bonded a little bit.
Yeah.
And but then I kind of liked you more than you liked me.
Do you think so? That's kind of your life, though, isn't it?
But I also think, David, so you were in the same class?
No,
in Blackrock
no.
Kieran was
College?
a year ahead of me, weren't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We weren't in the same class.
Okay.
Didn't you sort of, they had to
Yeah,
spring you
well-
out of Blackrock College and send you off to a boarding school
No,
just to
they-
calm down for a year and then
No,
bring
I
you back to
went,
Blackrock College?
I went to Clongowes for
Yeah.
a year, and because they were trying to get me to be more academic and
Yeah.
more focused, but it didn't work
No,
out.
definitely not.
So did you go back to Blackrock?
Went back to
We
Blackrock.
went back to Black. That's what I'm saying. He was taken out for a year to decompress somewhere else and then brought back in again as if he's had his brain washed. That didn't work.
But it's a very privileged school, so you have to really understand that you're in a position that you can really, in an environment where you can do stuff. I think that your foolishness and fooling around was because you were coming from a privileged family.
Yeah,
and
you could be right. You could be right.
And you were sort of like, I'm not saying that you're entitled, but I noticed that David
we were entitled.
have this sort of entitlement
Yes.
that I am allowed to do anything.
Confidence, cockiness actually, not confidence.
Yeah, but swinging between confidence and then extreme lacking in confidence, you know.
Oh, for sure. It's all a front.
But you were.
I was not a good student.
Yeah, but you weren't. I was a look.
No, you
compared
weren't
to
a
me-
student. You were just you just happened to be in the school.
Yeah, so
you know?
I that's why I was the last episode. I compared myself to RT. You know, outwardly looked.
Oh, you
like
had
a
everything.
student.
The ruling, the pens, the pencils, the erasers, the geometry sets, everything.
Same with RT.
Everything
they
but the
look
study.
like they have everything. They've got all the cameras.
Yeah.
But the essential part of actually producing
something
quality,
something. I know. But the thing about that school, and it was not a good education. Really was not a good education.
I'm not saying
no, but I hear what
But it is.
the position you find yourself, that you're really in a privileged position. You're driven to school. You know the most.
Well, no, that's you got this
maybe
idea.
not driven, but like
well, he lived very close to the school.
Well, you didn't live too far from it either. You know.
But you did the most expensive school.
But it's not the most expensive school in
It's
Ireland.
almost is.
No, it isn't. You see, it's got this image of being. You know, but there's other schools that are a lot more expensive, as it happens.
And
you know,
especially
I am privileged.
You see, but I inquired about schools, so I know. So it was one of the more expensive.
Okay, well, it's
maybe
not like
now it changed.
St. Columba's or any of those kind of schools, which are like
Yeah, but
a lot more.
Anyway, who gives a shit? What are you talking about?
No,
but I'm just. I think the point was though that you're saying that we were allowed to be, silly and cocky
because we knew there was something that would catch our fall, basically.
Well, no,
yes,
but also
you
because
felt so confident and you just felt.
I don't know where that, because I know my parents are from the west of Ireland and from peasant stock, shall we say.
Oh yeah, you
So
were always
am
saying
I.
that your dad
Poverty.
used to go to school without shoes.
All of that stuff, and that sounds like a cliche, but it's absolutely 100%
well,
true.
people probably couldn't believe that. Is that true?
It is 100%
So
true.
what year are we talking about?
1930.
Okay, 1954.
He was born in 36.
Okay, so 1946.
46,
Okay,
45.
and
44.
what area was he living in?
Oh, in the worst part of Mayo, like way out there where nobody else lives.
Right, and so
it's famine
he'd be going
Angela's Ashes territory.
He'd be going to school, and he'd say, "Oh, come on, up you get," and he wouldn't have fucking shoes.
No shoes.
I mean, that's poverty.
No shoes.
I mean, that's it.
He got actually. It's funny. When he was young, his stomach started to swell
because of malnutrition.
Yeah, and his hair fell out, like the top of his hair. And for years he didn't know what it was. He just thought he had some. And then I remember when we were in school, we used to get these Trocra boxes. Do you remember the Trocra boxes?
Yeah.
And on the Trocra box, there was a little black kid.
Yeah.
With her belly sticking out and no hair.
Swollen.
Yeah. Swollen.
That's
and he goes,
like my father.
That's what happened to me.
So what about his
malnutrition?
What about his mom and dad?
His dad was 60 when he was born.
60, right.
West of Ireland, farmer. Okay.
Right, so he was born in the 19th century.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was in 1876 or something like that he was born. It's my grandfather.
Your grandfather was born in 18...
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I know, it's insane. Yeah. Like, just after the famine.
Okay, so how come your dad's dad wasn't able to provide him with shoes?
It wasn't that... he probably... And I don't think he'd mind me saying this, he's probably not the best... wasn't the best dad in the world.
Alcoholic?
He had... No. He had 12 children before my dad came along. My dad was the youngest.
Right.
And he was just like... And his mother...
It was just poor.
Poverty.
They were
terrible.
working really
It's amazing,
hard.
isn't it? Like
chicken
12
farmers.
kids.
Yeah,
12 kids. Everybody was having 12
sounds like Poland.
kids.
It's like my dad's story. They were working really hard, but they were paid pittance. Working.
And there was
really
no welfare
hard.
state.
There was no welfare. There was disparison between lords or
kids today.
The owners of the land and the ones who were, just working.
Those kids over there, Kieron, they don't give a shit.
It's so good that they don't give a shit. I wish I didn't give a shit.
They've no respect. Look, the little Scots. Fucking Scots.
I mean, you talk about Blackrock College. I mean, my mother, who is also from the west of Ireland, not as poverty-stricken, but certainly another family of 13. So I've got 24 uncles and aunts and all those cousins. Think about that, right? But anyway,
what is that? So it's an amazing amount of. So they just constantly riding and.
well, there's no contraception.
Yeah.
No belief in contraception.
Right.
And actually, how it was, my grandfather used to work away. He used to work for the Merchant Navy, so he'd come home at Easter and he'd come home at Christmas, and every year there was a new baby. That was the deal.
Yeah.
And then he retired, and then he died.
How many kids? You've only got 2 kids.
2.
What the fuck?
Too many.
Why didn't you? Why didn't
don't
you?
say it.
Why didn't you? Yeah, I know.
Do you wish you'd had another one?
No.
I'd
A
love
little-
to.
a little girl.
I'd love to have 12 kids.
Would you?
Oh.
My arse.
What
My mother had heard nothing but good things about Blackrock College since she was tiny, because Eamon De Valera went there.
Yeah.
And anywhere that Eamon De Valera went to school, my son's going to go to school there. So that's what my dad was like, can you not just send him to Newport Comprehensive? Why does he have to go to this place, you know? But it was just, it
I
had
think
this image.
Yeah, New Park Comprehensive would have been much more suitable for me anyway.
And me,
Yeah.
probably.
But I did have a good time, thank God. I think I was slightly protected by the fact that my father was a politician, and so the priest couldn't fuck with me too much, figuratively and literally. But anyway, Kieron, you went to Dunleary
Yeah, I went to art school, yeah.
Art School,
Yeah.
and you knew exactly what you wanted to do.
No, not really.
Yeah.
How it worked out was, first of all, I didn't even know I wanted to go to art school, but I just knew that the only thing I really liked doing was drawing and painting and taking photographs and all that kind of stuff. I was like, how can I do that? And I do remember I got accepted into, thanks to my father, got accepted into this ANCO training course
Jesus.
to become an electrician.
Do they still?
And I had to do this for a week.
Are there still ANCO training courses?
I don't, the FOSS now I think they're called, or they were.
I
but they're called
went
something
to ANCO, yeah, and I remember
Out in Loughlinstown, was it?
I went somewhere where you had to
Nobody
where you had
knows
to
what
solder
ANCO
something for a day.
That's
and
what I
I
had
was
to do.
I was sitting in a class and I went like this, like I did something like that,
Yeah.
and then somebody ran in, get out, and that was it. It was like I was in there for an hour.
That's too funny.
It was
This
the
is
call.
like
It
a
was the
comic.
call. It's the Halfgrace Lundberg call. If they don't get that, then you're out.
You
what I
know,
mean?
because I knew, and then you see all these people. Yeah, no, it's like, yeah, you get a job, and I'm like, a job.
A job.
Like I wanted to be, I wanted to go traveling.
You wanted to be a
That's what I had to do.
star.
That I had to do that for 4 days, Dave. That soldering things and literally soldering bits of metal and filing them down. And I was thinking, like,
And you thought to yourself, I'd rather die than
what
do
am I
this.
doing
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
And I remember trying to do something creative with these 2 bits of metal that I was supposed to file down and weld together, and I was trying to make something out of it, not just do the exercise of sticking that bit to that bit there. I tried to make a shape out of it, and they said, no, that doesn't wash here at all. Like, you're not creating anything, you're just putting 2 pieces together. So thankfully on the
because
fifth day,
you were so traumatized by that.
I was just trying to do something
Yeah, yeah.
creative with
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I don't know. But and then after 4 days, a letter came through from Dunleary Art School saying that there's been a place has become available due to somebody dropping out, and we'd like to offer it to you if you're interested. Foundation year art school, and I was like a
Hallelujah.
rat up a drain pipe.
Why,
Did
you not do your leaving cert?
No, I did.
you
I'd done the
pass
leaving.
it?
Yeah, I passed it.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Just, But so I was like, and I said to my dad, look, and he was like horrified
Oh, right.
about the
yeah.
idea of me giving up this ANCO training course
Fucking
to become
hell.
an electrician, an apprentice electrician. He didn't speak to me for a week when I decided to go to art
My
school.
father didn't speak to me ever. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he didn't. Yeah. Or me.
But he was probably just he
Oh
just
no!
wanted
It was
you,
from a good
your,
place, Hannah. It
your
was
good future.
Yes,
and-
absolutely. It's just more like you just kind of think, and he's obviously different now, but I'm sure he kind of think, but he was just being protective and trying to
Yes.
do his best without a doubt.
Okay, guys, listen.
Sorry,
so-
back to you, Dave.
So the first film you made was Brendan and Trudy.
That was the first feature film. Yeah, I'd done a few things before that.
What
though.
year was that? Can you
That
remember?
was 2001.
2001. Can people see that?
I'm sure
Yeah, I'm
I
sure
can,
it's
of
the
course.
usual.
Where
If
would
you
they
just
see it?
if you just dial in,
Oh yeah,
type it
what was
in,
the,
it'll come up.
What
you
was
know.
the next film?
The next feature film was because I've done a lot of television in between, but
Like what? Oh, Raw.
like I did Young Person's Guide to Becoming a Rock Star for Channel 4.
Okay.
And that was back in 1998, 99. And that was a big hit show, with lots of musicians and celebrities in it, like, you know, Noel Gallagher and Chrissy Hine. And
Noel Gallagher, of course, whose mom is Peggy Gallagher. She's from Sligo.
from where my dad's from.
Yeah.
Charlestown.
Yeah. All the great British rock stars are Irish.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, Boy George,
Yeah.
Morrissey,
John Lydon.
John Lennon, John Lydon.
Paul McCartney.
Well, I
George
think
Harrison.
most of
George
people,
Harrison.
if they trace back, are from Ireland.
And if you
all
trace
the-
all those Irish, they're all actually from
all-
Ethiopia.
all-
We're
Yeah,
all from
that's true,
Ethiopia.
yeah.
All presidents
We're all from
of
fish.
US, apart from Clinton, are Irish as well.
Is he?
Did you, sorry, so what was the premise of the Young Person's Guide to Becoming a Rock Star?
It was about a young band in Glasgow trying to make it in the
And
music business.
how was Noel Gallagher involved in it?
Well, basically, we wanted to get, we go into this nightclub and there's supposed to be lots of celebrities there, like Peter Stringfellow was there, and you know all these. Anyway, and one of them, well, we need to get somebody really, you know, famous and cool. And these guys were at the pinnacle of what they were doing at the time. I couldn't believe that we could actually.
Noel Gallagher.
The Oasis.
Oh yeah.
And the little storyline was the kid who was in the band got into this club called The Cottage, which is based on the house, Soho House. Okay, so it's taking the piss out of that, right? So
Soho House made famous recently
Yes.
because of RTE.
Yes. a
People
dormant
Yeah.
membership.
Dormant.
A dormant membership, like a membership they pay every year, nobody uses it.
Well,
who?
we
For
have
who?
to.
Somebody
Hey,
in
listen.
RTE.
Oh, so
we
it's-
have to find out. It's going to come out who uses and for what.
No, so
might be
so wait a
interesting.
sec. Are you
Because
saying
you can stay there as well now.
So are you saying that there's a one membership that can be used by multiple people?
I doubt it. But
So-
Who
I doubt-
knows?
Maybe, unless there isn't. Is there a corporate membership, RTE corporate
Probably.
membership?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Okay, so because I'm just curious, you see, the thing is about Noel Gallagher, I think he is as funny as a lot of really good comedians, because
Oh, yeah.
I see him being interviewed and I find him
Yeah.
as an interviewee as entertaining as he is a singer songwriter. Anyway,
What does he say about his brother? He says, you know, Liam is the type of guy. He's like a man with a fork in a world of soup spoons.
right, yeah.
He's trying to eat his soup with a fork.
And-
That's how
Yeah,
frustrated
I know you
he
didn't
is.
have to fucking explain that joke, Kieran.
No,
We all got it.
So Hannah,
Bobby,
I was just doing it for
Hannah
Hannah.
was mansplaining.
I know. He was.
Hey,
was.
so
You like a bit
so
of
you were in that. So did you spend a day with him or whatever?
Yeah, he came up. It was actually Keith Allen, you know, the actor Keith
Yeah.
Allen, and he's a bit of a stand-up as well. He was in the show.
Who's Keith Allen's daughter? Lily Allen.
Lily,
Right.
and
yeah.
also is Alfie Allen? Alfie Allen as well, the
okay.
actor Alfie Allen from Game of Thrones.
And Dave Allen.
Dave Allen was his granddad, yeah. No. Anyway, so I just happened to say to him, I said, look, we really want to get somebody shit hot to play this part. You know, the young kid from the band goes in and he's down on his really depressed and down in this club. He doesn't know what he's doing. And he picks up a guitar and starts strumming on the guitar. And then all of a sudden, somebody comes up and says, and he starts playing an Oasis song. And somebody comes up and says, it starts in G.
And that's it.
And he goes, no, it fucking doesn't. It starts in A. It starts in fucking G. I should know. I wrote it.
Right.
And he turns around and Noel Gallagher's standing behind him. That's my fucking guitar, he says. And then you hear this kind of, oh, that's our kid. I better go. So he's talking about his brother has just crashed in, you know,
And
into
do
the
you
club.
think we could get a clip of that?
I think it might be online.
Okay, we'll
Might
have
think
a look.
yeah, but
Starts with E minor, Chief.
No, it's not. It's in G.
Well, I should know. I wrote it. And that's my guitar.
Jesus, I'm sorry, Mr. Gallagher.
It's all right, mate. No problem. Sounds like our kids in. See you in a bit.
you know, Chrissy Hine was in it, and Sam Fox was in it, and
Samantha Fox.
yeah, and Keith Chegwin, and you know,
People wouldn't remember Samantha
Timmy
Fox,
Mallet
but
and-
when I
She
was
was
growing
very
up,
sexy.
she was very sexy. She
was like a sex
Do they still
symbol.
have page 3s in the Suns with the tits?
not really, no.
I think, but they do.
Oh, but they're not naked.
No, but they skimpy clothes. Oh, or maybe boobs are out.
Are they?
I think so. Check it.
We
I
should
think-
get a couple of copies of the Sun. And hear it, like, but she was going through issues at the time because she's gay now, but you didn't know that she was gay then. Yeah, she's a gay girl, and she's a page 3 girl, and she's a gay girl, and she was.
Wouldn't it be amazing if you could just be gay for a day? Like, you know what I mean? You know, in Pride Week, you know, if you could literally just be gay.
Or gay for 2 weeks.
Or for 2 weeks. If you could literally
people are like that fluid, that they one day they sort of gay, the other day they straight. And
yeah, well, I can't identify. Well, yes, that's what, is it just gay for a day? No, but I'm just saying for a day.
Yeah, whatever you want.
But then would it be weird
Why?
if you were gay for a day and then you're not gay the next day and you think, you know what I mean?
You're just fluid.
Yeah. Huh?
Weird for who?
For you.
No, because as long as you're happy with what's going on.
You know, there's this bisexual that you do both.
Yeah.
You know?
Trisexual, try anything.
Try anything.
Why not?
Quadricycle. Okay, so
anyway, yeah, that was a big show for Channel 4, and you know.
I've never seen it. I must have to look at it.
It's good fun.
You used to do a lot of commercials. There's a lot of money in that, isn't there?
There was. Not anymore.
When was the heyday? Were you just at the end of the heyday?
Yeah, I was probably at the end of the heyday because the real heyday was the 80s. That's when all those London wankers made all that money. Loads of money. That's that.
Oh, right,
you know,
right.
the Thatchers kind of advertise it.
Right.
You know, you'd. Ridley Scott and Alan Parker and Adrian Lyne and all those guys.
Some fantastic, some great ads. Though.
Yes, in those days.
Some great ads.
Yes.
Nowadays, ads are really shockingly. Do you know the way? I mean this, folks. You know the way we evolve as humans. Those ads are so bad. Those radio ads, I de-evolve. I de-evolve. It's always like Flahavan's flour.
we'll insure you with Flavin's floatlet
oatlets. And also, there's a kind of simpering fear. The guys are slightly very threatening. Hello, hey, do you want to buy butter? Yeah. So if you don't know, Kieron directed the first two series of The Savage Eye. Yeah. And let's face it, the best 2 series.
Well, it's funny. I think, you know, actually, because I did a sort of a compilation, I guess.
Where you paid yourself a load of money and didn't give me anything, you fucking shithead.
Well, I did the work.
Well, no.
I did the work.
I did.
You were there for 2 days and
it's called
baldy head and
intellectual property.
Yeah, but you were paid for that.
Very badly.
Well, oh, really? Okay. Well, take it up with Katie.
Katie Holly she was fantastic as a producer early on. Then she didn't produce when did she stop produce?
She did the first series, I think.
She was brilliant. She was a proper for me anyway, because I did have bad experiences. I'm not going to mention the name, but this guy was so bad. I looked up the definition of a producer, and he didn't answer any of those definitions.
Didn't tick any of the boxes.
No, he was a conducer.
Right,
he was the exact opposite. He just wanted
a reducer.
A reducer. He just wanted to shoehorn
an underminer,
terrifically bad ideas that would stop production, and we'd all be scratching our heads trying to figure out a way to put this.
How to get away from? How to get around?
But anyway, so 2008 we were.
2008 was it 2008
or 2009?
We did a pilot.
That was right. There was a competition called Funny Ha Ha.
That's right, Funny Ha Ha. That's right. Yeah, that Eddie Doyle.
But who approached who?
What happened was you had gone off. You tried to get me involved with this show called Head Wreckers.
That's right, which was
made by Green Ink in Northern Ireland,
which was picked up by
Channel 4. Was it
Channel 4? And it was called.
There were pilots, weren't there?
Yeah, there was pilots. There was a TV show. I can't remember the name of the TV show. Anyway, Head Wreckers was one of the episode in that series.
Yeah, and if I don't know if any of them went on to be made into full series with Channel 4. I'm not sure. Maybe they did, but your one didn't. But I remember you getting in touch with the people.
Oh, that's right. And I wanted you to direct
and wanted me to direct it. And
I pleaded with
them.
Listen,
there was no the amount of pleading that went on. It was kind of embarrassing. And their excuse was, I think he's way too experienced. Do you remember that?
I do remember that, of course.
And clearly they just wanted somebody to push around.
Because I'll tell you, folks, it's very rare.
They didn't want you and me and you as a team together, they were frightened.
It's
of that,
very
you know.
rare when you get an opportunity, you know, when you're starting off and you're a comedian or an actor and you have the opportunity to, you know, establish your comedy credentials. And it's almost like if you get it wrong, people don't understand the inappropriate, if you get comedy wrong, the inappropriate amounts of hatred directed towards you. And so really wanted it, because before that I'd done a thing called Oh No, It's McSavage, and that was rejected. And then the Headwreckers thing was,
What do you mean it was rejected?
Well, I'd made a pilot called Oh No,
Oh,
It's
it was a pilot, okay.
Savage before that. And,
For RTE or something?
For RTE, and it was shocking.
I remember it. Yeah, that was the.
Well, it wasn't shocking. There was one or two ideas in it. It's funny.
Which actually those ideas? Some of those ideas ended up in.
Yes,
Savage Eye, I think.
Some of them, but they were not fully realized.
They were ham-fisted.
They were just sort of thrown together.
That was Johnny O'Reilly who did that, right?
No, it wasn't. No, it was some other guy. I can't remember.
Julian something or other.
But anyway, the point was, actually, it's funny, when the pilot was made, right, you know the way, like, I was very delusional and up my arse, and, you know, I just thought, like, anything that fell out of my mouth was worthy.
It was gold.
Well, it was gold, and it was quite shocking.
Is that not still the case today?
Well, definitely. Well, a little bit, but definitely not. No, not to the extent it was back then. But I remember watching Oh No, It's McSavage, the pilot, with actually Aidan Bishop, and it was so bad. And you could see, you know, when you're showing something that's really shit, and they're trying to kind of, and then what you think, and no, I thought it was. So he's obviously answering his real opinion, which was it's shit, and he's going, no, it was quite good. It was, you know, and then. Then Jack was really small, or Daniel was really small. Then Aidan started playing around with Jack, and Aidan was pretending to be a monkey, right? And he was going, "Hey, look, hey Jack, I'm a monkey," you know. And what Aidan was doing was way funnier than the whole the pilot, which thousands of pounds had been spent on.
Yeah.
And I saw, in other words, what I'm trying to say is I saw the pilot through Aidan's eyes, and I realised how bad it was. So then I had this opportunity to do this thing called Headwreckers, and I really didn't want to fuck it up. And Kieron had loads of experience, so I think I probably wrote all that out. Not that, but I just said, look, it's really important.
No, you did. You wrote them a letter, and you know, we had a meeting, and in the meeting, they were just looking at me, going like,
they had made their
God, you're way too experienced.
Yeah, no, this guy was just a pain in the fucking hole. But we had to. I wanted to get it made, so we went with some other guy. But then, okay, so that was made, that was rejected as well. So then this project, So Eddie Doyle.
I think you came to me then, said, look, Kieron, it didn't work out the last.
I don't think I came to you. I think Eddie Doyle came to you, must have, and then you contacted me and said, hey, listen.
What, Eddie
no, I made something. I'd made I'd made something. I can't remember, but it's somehow you, me, and maybe Damien.
Yeah, we were up in that room in your office in Leeson Street. And we come up with... Do you remember when we first did the very first priest snatch, without being a priest, basically, where we took little Harper, who was 2 years old, out on the street, me, you and Damien, bored one afternoon.
Yeah.
And I think I had some little camera with me. We weren't using phones in those days, one little camera. And basically I said, okay... Damien said, okay, you come around the corner and grab the child and run away. And we did it, and we videoed it. We put it up on YouTube. No idea what it was going to be, just a bit of a joke, right? And then later on, we should dress him in a priest's outfit and do it for the show.
Yeah.
And that's how it came about, you know?
Yeah.
But it was just a joke. It was just messing about.
My idea.
Yeah, I'm not saying it wasn't your idea, but...
But anyway, look, whatever. So I remember Damien clocking the fact that, you know, oh yes, there was why do the Irish drink so much?
Yeah.
And I think I had watched some documentary. So I'd failed, a few pilots had failed. And so here was a fucking another opportunity. And I think this project and then failure, it fucking wakes you the fuck up. And you get serious and you think... Double failure. How the fuck are we going to get something that is undeniable and that people will actually engage with? And so actually failing is real smelling salts. It wakes you the fuck up. And I think Damien or Kieron saw something in the why and the question asked and then you know
7 answers.
You know, we divided it into chapters.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we made that pilot, which was why do the Irish drink so much? Because I had just stopped drinking, and so I was kind of really asking the question, you know, why am I an alcoholic? And it is kind of an interesting, like there are reasons why maybe Irish people are more susceptible to alcoholism than other nations, you know.
Yeah, well, that came up in that came up in the show. Really, it was like because as usual, went to the British and the reasons we drink because of the British, because of the Catholic Church, the usual, all of those stops were there, but this was the first time, and I remember going in after we'd done the pilot. And
Jerry McSorley played my dad for one sketch.
He did, which is good.
And the sketch was because it was a real life reenactment. Because I was living in Crow Street at the time, and I was in full blown alcoholic mode. And my dad was a bit worried about my drinking, so he comes up, and we never talked, me and my dad. You're drinking and fucking bottles everywhere. And it was all kind of awkward. And he said, well, look, sure, I'll meet you for a pint and we talk about it again. So like he was going to meet. So that's how we addressed, like it was so uncomfortable for two Irish men to sit not in a pub.
Yeah.
But, listen, he did his best.
But we reenacted it and it took a while to cut that, if I remember correctly. It was
Jerry McSorley.
I think Damien cracked it in the end with the edit, And of course, McSorley came in, and he's a very serious actor, and he just thought comedy. Oh, bang your head, fall over, trip. You know what I mean? It's funny things, and we're like, just play it for real. What are you talking about? Don't you tell me what to do. Remember all that stuff?
I can't remember that.
Do you not remember?
Why do you have this on one ear and not the other?
I suppose because I can listen out that ear, and I can listen in this ear. Is that all right?
Are you distracted, Kieron?
Yeah, I think you do have ADD anyway.
No, go on.
Shall I cover up?
No. But yes, so we did that. Jerry McSorley.
And then we went into RTE after, because, the message was V good.
From Eddie,
Eddie
Doyle. So there was four. So there were four other pilots.
The guys who did not Four Arms and Hog. What are they called? Dead Cat Bounce.
Dead Cat Bounce.
They did one.
Yeah. Dead Cat Bounce were a comedy troupe.
Yes, who've gone on to do films.
Yeah.
And I think George Kane might have done that one.
George Kane is a director.
No, he didn't do that one. He didn't do that. No, he didn't do it, actually. No.
George Kane directed.
It was Daddy did it. Daddy did it. And then there was Diet of Worms and a few other.
Diet of Worms?
Yeah, another.
How can you even remember that?
They're the only ones I remember. That's three. But the impression we got from Eddie that he really liked our one.
Yeah, because we had presented something that was the problem with sketch shows was that yes, that's a funny bit, and also comedy shows in Edinburgh. The ones that got the good reviews had a structure to them, which I seem to be against, but they had a structure to them and a theme to them, and so we were asking. Like there was a point to this comedy
every episode.
show.
I mean, you could see that it had legs. As long as you had the questions, then you could get the answers. And I think the sweet spot of the whole thing was the idea. I think it might have been yours. It was the Vox Pops, which would inspire the sketches. Now, there's a lot riding on that because some of the Vox Pops might not be that good, but occasionally you got gold, and then you'd recreate or would spark off an idea for a sketch.
And there was a Cork. There was something down in Cork that they did something similar with Vox Pops. I can't remember what they had. Anyway, but the chapter thing, I think people kind of like to know what they're about to commit themselves to before they sit down and watch a TV show. And so with document, so that's why you look at genres. So when you see immediately, why did the Irish drink so much? I'm in.
Yes.
So that was the fucking point. As opposed to having it's just, and now a comedy thing.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So why did the Irish drink so much?
Why are the Irish so ugly?
Bad? Why are the Irish so ugly?
Why they are so bad in bed?
Yeah.
Why are they so lazy? Why are they such natural criminals?
And also the thing with the logic of asking about Irish things is because we are so fucking
insular,
introspective, and if you looked at RTE, probably still now it's all Irish. How's Irish? Ireland.
It's
so
relentless.
Again, so to tip it in the balance of it getting greenlit.
Yeah.
So a lot of thought went into getting that.
But there was if you think about it, right, it was kind of a no-brainer, really. Like the show cost them nothing. Like for them to green light it, really.
But I mean,
should have been.
I remember. I think we were in. I can't remember when it got greenlit. My God,
we went in, Dave. We went in. This is how we got the thing greenlit. And I don't know if I've got photographs on my phone about this, right? We went in to see Eddie Doyle. And you said, "So Eddie, have we got the green light?" And he was like, "Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. You'll have to," blah, and like hummed and hawed, blah blah. And you reached into your bag and you pulled out a bulb that you'd painted green. He says, "I've got the green light here. You could just hand that green light over to me, and then we've got the green light." And he was like, of course, he started laughing and stuff. And as soon as he started, I took the phone out, took photographs of him. You and him
You don't
clutching.
have that, do you?
I do, clutching the green light. Yes, absolutely, I do. I'll get it to you.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know
and
about
that was,
this.
and then he basically had no choice because he'd given us the green light. He had no choice but to go with the show, and that was it. And then we did like four seasons and a couple of specials, I think, you know.
And how much was, like, I heard the budget
Really
was
low.
was 250,000 for
the 6.
for 6 episodes.
Yes.
So it's amazing, folks, when you think about it. 250,000 is a huge amount of money, but 6 episodes, and then you think how many people are employed, and
it's not,
and it took.
It's
By the way,
not
can
a
I just
lot of
say?
money for the
Can I just say
comedy.
it took a year to write and create, like, all the Vox Pops, getting all the sketches. John Cleary, Pat McDonald, Dermot McMurrow, and a few other people contributing sketches,
Yeah.
and then going to comedy clubs, testing those sketches out. Like, so, you know, you want to cut out the riskiness of the comedy as much as possible. So a lot of work.
a lot of research and a lot of
research.
you
Yeah,
know. And some of them failed, but some of them sang. You know, and and actually
There was-
the thing
there was a
you
lot
have to
of-
just keep it
Yeah,
coming hard and fast.
Yeah.
Don't let people
No.
stop and go, "Oh, that was a bit shit." Before they have a chance to say that was a bit shit, you're onto something else.
And
you know?
also, the Vox Pops gave you permission to do things that you might not have got away with if you hadn't used the Vox Pop, because it's inspired by an actual real person. It's not. It has a context. The sketch. I'm trying to think of.
You know, but you also
And then
not,
also
not
a
only
lot of
did
the
Vox Pops,
a lot of the experts we talked to.
you know, like Fintan O'Toole.
Fintan O'Toole was
and
brilliant. Loved him. Patsy McGarry loved
Yeah.
him. There was loads.
Owen
of them.
Harris was
Yeah.
there, and like, but there was a lot of. So if you think about it, it's quite a complex show because you've got the Vox Pops, then you've got to create the sketches,
Yeah.
and then you've got the voiceover to link the whole thing,
Yeah.
you know, and visuals. So there's a lot going on in it. It's not like a sitcom where you just come in and everybody wears the same costumes for the day, and people say their lines, and like there's a lot more. There's lots of different costumes, lots of props.
Oh yeah, like there was the amount of costumes was huge,
Yeah.
and then you had to get all the locations for the sketches,
Yeah.
and you had to get all the and then the writing and all that. But so there was a lot of people in, like, the production, the shooting schedule was like a month and a half or something, was it? Something like that.
Yeah.
And it was like it was
Relentless.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, when you think about recently, like, these executives getting 200 and something thousand.
It galls me, actually. I mean, when you think about it, we went in with that pilot, and I remember Eddie Doyle saying, I read the pilot. Look, I don't know what's going on in it. I have no idea I can't make head nor tail of it. But if you can make me half hours television for 25,000, you've got the money.
25 grand.
This is for the
pilot.
The pilot was 25 grand.
You mean? Oh, in other words, this is pre getting the green
Yes.
light.
Pre getting the green light for the show. This is for the pilot for comedy, haha, whatever you call it.
How long was that
Project
fucking
Aha.
pilot? It was a full episode.
Yeah, that was the alcohol one. The why did the Irish drink so much? That was the that was the pilot.
Yeah.
And then we basically used it to start the series off.
Was Joe Duffy in that pilot? It's funny.
I don't think he was, no.
I remember doing Joe Duffy, and because I think we went to Ballyfermot Vocational Educational College
to shoot it, yeah.
And there was an AD who didn't like me or didn't get what I was doing, and he was behind the camera, Kieron, and I was
I'm
doing
looking
all
at
this,
you,
and he was, and you could just see him like,
yeah.
I don't think this is funny at all. It's a load of shit. And but I remember thinking, I'll fucking do it more. I'll overdo it just to fucking. He was a jerk, that guy.
No, I do remember at one stage
go on.
there was the Joe Duffys, which were we were going so mad at one stage. Like, I remember putting peanut butter on your bare arse, painting like.
Yeah.
With a knife, with a spatula, putting it onto your arse, and then basically a bucket full of live mice, right, in a bucket, and then he dropped his arse into the bucket, and the mice were going to come up to get the peanut butter. That was the idea. Like, Joe Duffy, he's so
Jesus.
yeah, and Jesus. Jesus.
Yeah. But the thing is, I think I remember Ardal O'Hanlon telling me it's a good sign when the crew aren't laughing.
Oh,
They
very
don't
much
get
so.
it because it's situational. Like if you're doing stuff and you're making the crew laugh, it's probably not that
No,
funny.
it always gets cut out.
Well, that was inspired by, because if you ever, when I used to listen, because I lived abroad and then coming back, and you'd hear Joe Duffy, and anytime if he was interviewing somebody who was confident and knew what he was about, and his voice was very hard and but if you heard somebody who sounded like they were beaten down, his voice got very vaginal, and he'd
Vaginal voice.
and he'd get very like that, and he sounded like the person who he was empathizing with. He was lying in bed with them. Do you know what I mean? And
He
they
does so.
I hate that when the poor people to be hurting the poor people.
when the poor, to me, Joe Duffy sounded like he had just really had a clatterfuck with the people that he was empathizing with, and he was lying in bed, and their heads were laying against his chest.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, and go on, keep going, yeah. And then Joe, then my leg fell off. Yeah, it's terrible when the leg Scooby Dooby falling off and everything.
The Scooby Dooby daytime, the Scooby Dooby nighttime.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
that was fun to do that stuff.
Yeah. But you, I remember I was quite worried about them, and then you showed me a cut of it, and I was thinking, oh, thank God, that's really good.
Well, we put them all in one episode, if you remember correctly, rather
Yeah.
than sprinkling them, because I don't think anybody really was going to get what this character Joe Duffy was about. And we'd have to just hit them.
Oh, yeah.
Hit them with it all up front.
Yeah.
And we did pepper them later on, but we had to sort of a lot of Joe Duffy in that one particular episode. Yeah. So people were just like, Jesus, it's Joe Duffy. It's Joe Duffy, and like he's just a misery. He's the misery king, and all that, and a pornographer of
sad stories.
Yeah, yeah, I do remember being worried about it, but the editing experience was, the editing of that show was as complex as the making of the show. I mean, it was really like, normally the edit is kind of like you can put your slippers on.
Explain to people what is so important about editing. It's like timing, isn't it?
Well, it was funny. I remember the first time we were trying to do the pilot, and you said, "I'm editing this show," and I was like, "Okay, you're going to edit. Do you know how to edit?" And he goes, "Nobody knows how to. You can't edit if you don't know about comedy timing." I was like, right, okay, but there's plenty of people who edit films and TV shows who aren't comedians. So what do you say about that? Well, I'm just telling you.
I think Kieron, you did a good thing, because
I let you hang yourself up.
Yeah, I was freaking out because I thought, I just didn't believe people could do it, and I spent a day with this poor editor. I think she was in tears.
Yeah, she was.
Because it was real classic frame fucking kind of, stopping. Now, because I've had so much experience on the old internet editing, like you cut the shit. Like, go on, tell. Sorry, I'm talking over you. Yeah, can you remember that? Yeah.
Oh, listen.
And it was a nightmare. It was a disaster.
There was late nights. Oh, when you came, you basically, I left you there. I said, you do it.
Nearly exploded.
2 days. Yeah. You do it. So you went in there for 2 days, and you came out a broken man.
Yeah.
Right. And he said, "There's the cut," and I looked at the cut, and it was like you'd gone in with the comedy removal machine and turned it on full blast and sucked anything that was funny out of it. It was like you were making a serious documentary about alcoholism.
Kieron J Walsh is prone to exaggeration. Continue.
Oh yeah, but it was good. It was.
What's right is right. Okay. So you were just and you said, I don't know. What you said to me was like, I don't know. What's this?
Yeah. In other words, I know I was going to my brain for suggestions, and all that was there was just like a bit of cardboard. I couldn't figure it out.
I don't know about arse from the elbow. Yeah. You just didn't know whether you were coming or going, like, And
So but explain to people. I don't know. Explain to me, like you as a director. Like, I mean, the stages. Sorry. As Kieron or as Damien O'Donnell said, and I love that, he says the most important part of filmmaking is, the most important part with film is the script, and the least expensive.
Yes. And the thing that you'll have most, because nobody else is going to be there except you.
So that's one part.
Yeah.
So then the second part is
the making of it.
Right?
And then the third part is the cutting of it. And
the editing.
Sometimes, the film that you write is not necessarily the same as the film you shoot, which is not necessarily the same as the film you edit. They can radically. It can radically change. Now, sometimes it doesn't, but it can radically change.
And if you don't have a good
but you have
script,
to be open to
you don't have a good
change.
script to start.
Well,
off
if you don't have, I mean, the thing is, you can make really good films out of shit books, like The Godfather. Right? That's not a great book by Mario Puzo. It's not a great book, but it's a terrific film.
Is it not a great book?
No, it's not. It's a pulp.
I've read that book.
Fiction.
I haven't read the book, but no. Okay.
No, it's
I see what you're saying. Yeah, but he made it this grand.
He made it
epic.
operatic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He made it like an epic
Tall
story of
story.
America.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And really, it was just a bunch of gangsters.
But maybe the script was amazing.
Yeah.
So
I think yes.
I think
absolutely.
like Clint Eastwood, he would say the story is the most
Story is the most
important
important,
in anything you should.
Like The
So,
Forgiven is such a great western. I love
Like
that
why
film.
in America those script writers are so well paid, so
and they
much
have
money.
They come into doctor things.
You know,
I mean, it's
and
a
so
business.
many, and
It's a
that's why
business, you know.
I think in Ireland and I don't know in England, like you guys who wrote the thing, you were paid pittance, like.
Everybody was paid pittance on that. Everybody was paid
but
pittance.
in general, I don't think the writing is appreciated in Ireland.
No.
So-
Although more so, they're treated better than in America. Writers have a bit more clout and a bit more respect, I think. In America, the writer is the first, the writer just, you write it and then bye-bye, you know what I mean? It's really, they don't have...
Where?
In America for feature films, then the director comes in and the director takes over and he does what he wants with the material.
You said the writer has more clout in the United States.
Here.
Okay,
Yeah.
so okay.
Or in Britain.
So you've got the writing, you've got the script, then you've got the making the thing, and then you've got the editing. What,
Yeah.
do you love the editing part?
Yeah, I mean, with a show like The Savage Eye, it's all about the fact that you've got so many choices. Where do I cut to now? How do I make that funnier? How can I do that? It's just, and then a bit of music. Oh, that makes it much funnier. Put that bit of music on it. So there's a lot of throwing stuff and trying stuff out. And, you've got to be in a situation where you can just do anything and be prepared to fail.
I found it so difficult, the process of letting go of stuff. Jesus Christ. We had so many clashes, didn't we?
Oh, man.
Can you remember?
Listen, all I remember was, I remember one day we were on the beach. Do you remember this? When we were on the beach in Dollymount or somewhere like that, right? And there was, the word cunt was used so much, just basically between you and me, stand there, you fucking ugly cunt, right? And then you go, fuck off, you stupid cunt.
Oh,
This was going back and this was like, and action. I mean, it was like fantastic, the whole thing,
Oh yeah, and the poor,
everybody round.
around
And poor Hannah got the brunt of a few.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Bad
But I
situations,
was thinking if we could ask Jack or Daniel about their memory from
Oh, that's a good
Savage
question.
Eye.
Yeah.
Was that sketch you were talking about, the one with the Protestant with the green eyes and
In Dollymount, yeah,
In
probably
Dollymount.
was,
And
yeah.
I
With
think-
That's what it
Liam.
was. Yeah, and you were in your stripy.
I was the son. I was
Yes.
in the bathing suit,
Yes.
and you were in the bathing suit
Yes.
as well. And I definitely remember from the set you guys shouting at each other all the time.
Oh man.
And people were like, I was a little kid, so I was just like laughing, but everyone else was just kind of like watching tennis. Like,
Yeah, no, it was. In fact, I think Enda Hughes, who did sort of second camera on it and stuff like that, he actually wanted to make a separate show, which is just me and Dave and the behind the scenes kind of.
But but genuinely, that was my inexperience, and also I was desperate to prove to people that I wasn't shit.
Yeah,
and
you
so
actually,
I was absolutely freaking out, and there were some things, some sketches that, to be quite honest, were basically transposed from stand-up.
Yeah.
And I had such a fixed idea.
Yeah.
Now the thing is,
The racism. The racism one. Do you remember that?
well, again, but that's where trust comes in. You have someone like Kieron who's had tons of experience. You have to kind of understand that he sees all the angles and possibilities, and he doesn't have to fucking I know I'm gonna film that bit. I've got a camera over here and a camera over here because we don't have time to stop stuff. But do you
remember
I'm not giving specific things.
No, but
Go
do you
on.
remember the anti-racism advert? Doesn't matter if I'm a traveller. does it matter if I'm gay?
Yeah.
Does it matter if I'm a lesbian? Do you remember that? And then, does it matter if I'm from Cork?
Right.
That advert, which,
Yeah.
you know, you'd heard something on the radio. It was a radio ad that you'd heard.
Oh, yeah.
And then you just basically put on, does it matter if I'm from Cork at the end? And
Yeah.
it was just funny, right? So that was you just had an audio version of
Yeah.
it in your head. No music, no nothing.
Yeah.
So I shot the thing, turned it into black and white, and put this piano track, a lot really sort of maudlin piano track, and dissolved these characters saying.
And I was so relieved, was I?
No, you were just like, that's not how it was. That's not how it was. That's not how it was. This is it. This is how it is, you know? Anyway, there was a major row about that, you know?
Yeah.
And
But again, look, you see, for me, as long as we were getting something good at the end of it, for you, it was a fucking pain in the hole.
Well, it was kind of like I'd never worked with against somebody when I'm doing inappropriate. You know, you don't necessarily go into a show and then you end up working against them. There's always heads you're going to butt against, producers or an actor or whatever. There's always a bit of that, but it's kind of like, you know.
Did you guys fight a lot because you knew each other
Yeah.
so well? Do you think that's
Yeah.
that's a big part? And for
Yeah.
so long,
I knew he was a prick.
You could really, like, you probably wouldn't use that language against each other, against David or David against you, if you didn't know each other so well.
That's right.
You would have more respect.
Were you like very stressed out on? Were you like a wreck?
Yeah. I mean, so much so that I didn't do season 3 and season 4.
Yeah.
I just thought, like, I can't do this. I was bringing it home. I was bringing it home to my family, and I was, you know, coming home in a rage about
Oh yeah, that's right. We used to call you Flame Brows. That's right. We used to call you because Kieron was so angry all the time. His head was bursting into flames. Oh my god.
No, yeah,
because
you had the flame. I had the flame brow. The eyebrows were flamed up.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. God, it's so funny that you forget all about that stuff.
But I remember you actually coming to me once about, and I said, "No, look, that'll be fine." And you went, "Fine. This show is my fucking legacy."
But in
it's
a
not
way,
fine. It can't just be fine.
Well,
This show is my legacy. And I just thought to
Yeah.
myself, God, surely you could be a little bit more ambitious than this. This is just a stepping stone to do something really great.
Yeah.
But didn't happen.
Well,
we're here, and here we are.
Well, my
And that's now why not together.
snidey little friend. This is it.
Oh, that was below the bell.
What's that, Jack? Yeah, well,
You still have time, David.
I have
Even though, you know, after the first season of Savage Eye, we broke up. And
Was that after the first season, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually, I was asked to do, but it was probably just to follow the procedure. I was asked to do the second season,
Yeah.
but I just couldn't do it.
Did you not do the second season?
No.
Well, did you come back and do the third or fourth?
No.
Just the season. But I do remember there was a. I mean, you know, look, it's all in the past.
Can I
but
just
between you two guys, I do remember.
Can I just you know,
Okay, so
Kieron had a dig at me.
I don't really
Kieron
wanna
had
talk
a dig
about
at me
it
there,
much.
and he says I haven't done anything since.
No, listen.
No, mate.
That-
Come on.
that
Fuck
hurts.
you.
That hurts.
No.
Poor David.
By the way,
just play some.
It's
First
okay,
of all-
Dave.
first
It's your
of-
legacy.
First
It
of all,
exists.
I have joined social media.
Very good.
And now,
Let it all-
hang
let
on
it
a
all
second.
out.
And as a result of that, I sell way more tickets now than I ever did.
Round of applause.
When I
Round
was
of applause, please.
Round of applause, yeah.
selling, you know, the Savage Eye. I've come up with tons of new sketches. This is also the most popular podcast.
David,
Jay,
David.
you're very
Most
good, Dave. You're
popular
very. Actually, you're very good.
David, stop it.
Honestly, you're embarrassing
You
yourself
know,
now.
You're embarrassing yourself.
No, he had a go at me,
Yeah,
and he can't
just-
handle my
Greatness.
success.
Do you? Can I? Listen, I don't want to dredge up old.
Yes, you do.
But I do.
You're a horrible
actually.
little
Well, listen, this is my moment. This is my revenge. No, but there was a moment
Oh
where
God! Yeah, in
was it downstairs in the
international.
Oh no, I don't want to.
You don't wanna go there?
I don't want to go there. No.
Is it still too painful?
It is
it's
the
just
most-
like. No, it was horrific.
It was
horrific, and also
an
think
insult on top of injury. That's exactly what it was. Adding
it was
insult to
too
injury.
traumatic, and
You slayed her, and then when you came back in to apologise, after you apologised, she wasn't being gracious enough to accept your apology. That you called her a cunt. For
No, I did not.
I don't think
no, I never
so.
did.
I'm not
Whoa,
sure.
whoa. No, hang on a second.
Whoa.
That never. happened, and that
is the truth.
No, it isn't. That exemplifies it. I would never in a million years say that to Hannah.
No, but I
say it to me.
I said it
Not
to
to
you.
Hannah.
What I would say that during that shoot, I think I sort of blocked out a lot of things.
Yeah.
So like I would not remember.
Sorry, I do remember.
everything.
I do remember. Like I was in such a state, and I was freaking out about
And-
get me some
and
Lucasade, Hannah,
obviously-
Yeah.
and literally just Hannah was like this in the corner.
Yes.
Hannah was in the corner, just
I
like
wasn't like that. No, I was. You know,
No, you were
no.
doing something like you were doing, working on your makeup or the script or something like that.
that. Anyway,
You weren't
Hannah,
eye
I was
contact
way
with him.
out of line.
Of
I
course you were.
apologize, and I will continue to apologize.
No, you have to
until-
kiss my
yes,
kiss my feet.
I will.
For the rest of your
Okay, give
life.
us your foot. Give us your foot, Hannah, quickly. Jesus.
Just you got us too.
It's amazing that we made it through, actually, if you think about it, that we actually got there. Charming.
I'm so sorry, Hannah, and I will continue to make it up to you for the rest of my life. I'm very grateful for you,
No,
and I
but
was
I-
a
Now,
total.
speaking to the fucking microphone, would
I
you?
was such a diva. I apologise. But also, Kieron Walsh was fucking with me constantly, and he was just needling me.
I was.
And anytime he saw any sense of happiness,
Do you remember at one stage we were doing Mary Robinson, and you don't remember this Mary Robinson? Yes, absolutely. And as,
Well, Mary
as a
Robinson-
boy, as a youth, as a young boy,
as a young
But she was
swan.
really funny.
You're very funny. And
She
Well,
I,
it was for a
really-
while.
Well,
and
for
then
a while, I got the
then
tiresome.
then you lost. It's
Yeah,
funny, you
but at
lose
the
the thing.
but
beginning-
you remember I used to say to you,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
used to say, "Come on, bring up," and you'd go, "Oh yes, oh," and you'd
Yeah,
have to
that's right. No, you
pucker
do
yourself
that because when Mary Robinson is very intelligent, she's a very intelligent
And
woman.
she has her
And
own
she
way
has-
of talking.
She has a fixed smile on her face, which informs how she talks.
And also, because she's so intelligent, she assumes that you don't really understand. So she's agreeing with herself on your behalf, and she's constantly
Yeah.
nodding and almost sort of head.
But I used to have to get you to
Yeah,
bring that
yeah,
every
yeah.
time. Just
I remember in the third series or the fourth series, I was so and I keep on going on about this fucking breakup with Fiona and Sean,
Yeah.
but I was so fucked, and I was in the middle of this horrifying. Anybody who's gone through a heartbreak is the closest well-adjusted people get to actually being
But that's more.
psychosis.
There was
a minute.
more than
But anyway,
heartbreak.
But anyway, I was dressing up, like Mary Robinson, fucked, and thing, and I'm just like
shaving your legs.
no, and then this putting makeup on, and I'm just like sitting in the,
It was season 4
It was
or
the
5
most.
of
It
the-
was
Three.
genuine. It was probably
Three.
one of the worst tortures things. Can you imagine? You getting horrible news. Okay, be fine. Awful.
It was 3.
And we will have Fiona on the podcast. And can I say, adore Fiona. We were the best
I
friends
adore
now.
Fiona as
Thank
well.
you.
Yeah, me too. I adore Fiona.
Yeah, back off, mate. Oh, Fiona was in with Amy. Who?
Yeah,
man?
she was in the show.
What-
We
what
got her
was the
into
name of
that.
the show?
It's called Finding Joy.
No, there was another
Amy wrote
one.
it.
No, yeah, the legal.
Oh, that's a different show. That's
But
she didn't
anyway-
write. She didn't write that. She didn't
The
write
She
that.
Savage
was
Eye.
there, and
She was in
Fiona
it.
was there as well.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
She was in 2 shows. That's
The
right.
Savage Eye gave your production company a lot of credibility and kudos. And I think as a result of the Savage Eye, you got.
But it also gave us a lot of no money and heartbreak.
Well, nobody got any money, but
No.
I didn't do it for money. I did it because I had
Because
to.
it's your legacy.
But,
It is my
but
legacy,
listen,
Kieron.
I think as
What's your
much
fucking
as-
legacy, you fucking piece
My
of
legacy's coming down the track, man.
shit? Are you actually? Do you have a? Are you working on a?
Yeah, I've got a film that I'm
What,
going to do.
what was the film you did about the the doping and the
So,
cycling?
yeah, it's called The Racer. Did you see it?
You've done that
Oh yeah, it's done. It got killed in the in
because
COVID. yeah.
COVID. Fuck.
It was accepted to this festival for the opening
Actually,
night.
I can't
of
wait to see that
South by
film. I can't-
Southwest.
Oh,
What?
no.
South by Southwest. The film festival in Austin, Texas.
Which is kind of one of the most
it's kind of
prestigious
like
in the world.
There's 2 festivals in America. There's that one and there's
So
Sundance.
can I just say, sorry, folks, this is how good Kieron. This is why the Savage Eye was good. Let's be honest. You had Kieron J Walsh, KJ fucking Walsh, Kieron J Walsh,
and
who's
Damien.
and Damien, who directed Inside I'm Dancing
And East is East.
and East is East. Fucking brilliant films. So these guys are hugely talented, and that is why the Savage Eye was as good. Obviously, there was a lot of duds in the Savage Eye, but so it is important to know that.
That's nice to hear. I mean,
So what about?
we had a good team of writers as well, though, to be fair, didn't we? Like Pat and John. And
Yeah.
I mean, they were all kind of, obviously you were the filter,
Yeah. But no, Pat McDonald was great. John Cleary, fucking amazing. Yeah, they're
And
all.
even what's his name?
Dermot.
Dermot,
Yeah.
you know, occasionally.
Very sad.
His
Wife died there recently.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was hanging out with him. He's such a lovely guy. Yeah, you don't know.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, Dermot.
Drinking tea up in McSherry's.
Drinking tea up
Up
in
in
McSherry's.
McSherry's.
Watching the rain
Hit the ground.
Yeah, that's that. If you ever wanted like a definition of
an insight
into Irish culture.
Irish cops.
Yeah,
culture.
Irish cops, yeah.
Chasing junkies around.
So that film about the...
So The Racer, yeah.
The Racer.
So basically it was due to premiere in
Is that on Netflix?
You get it in, not Netflix, no. It's
but you can stream it.
Amazon and...
Oh, is it on Amazon?
You could probably buy it on YouTube. It's on all, whatever the platforms you can get them off, you know. Except for Netflix. It'll probably eventually end up in Netflix. But
do you feel like, listen, we all dream of achieving great things, and we see great art,
aspire to
films,
do great things.
Aspire to great things. Do you think that there's something there where you really want to just reach the top of your Kieron J Walshness?
Always.
And
if there wasn't, then I would give up.
So do you know what that might be?
Well, in the next thing will be a film that I'm going to shoot next year up in Northern Ireland called Skin Town. That my friend Kieron McMenamin, who's an actor and now a novelist.
Okay.
Yeah. So he wrote a book called Skin Town. Skin Town is a slang name for Enniskillen. That's what the locals call Enniskillen. They call it Skin Town. And set during the 90s. And it's very loosely autobiographical. And it's about two young guys who want to escape from Skin Town during the Troubles. They just want to get that. They're like two in their early 20s. They just want to get out of the town, but they have no money. So an opportunity comes along to deal some ecstasy at a rave. Like the whole kind of rave culture had just started in Northern Ireland, and it was just growing. And they had no idea about how to do this, but they decided to, fuck it, we can make some money to get out of town. So they go to this rave, and they try and sell the drugs at the rave, and to varying degrees of success, because in Northern Ireland, if you were a raver, you'd go to the rave, and if you're a Protestant, you'd go to the Protestant side of the club, where you'd get your drugs off the Protestant paramilitaries. And if you're a Catholic and a nationalist, you'd go to the Catholic, the IRA dealers. So the UVF on one side, the IRA, and then the guys would take their ecstasy and they'd come onto the dance floor and they would dance with each other, wouldn't know where each other's from.
Yeah.
So it was beautiful, actually.
Yeah.
And so that's what the story is about. And it's about the effect of the rave culture.
Where's the tension?
Well, there's always tension in Northern Ireland, Dave. Do I have to say any more?
Yeah,
no, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, like in the name of the Father, where's the violence? Where's the,
Well,
but
you see,
them
this is the
going
thing.
into that market, I mean, they would be like chased by either of them.
Yes. Well, that's one part of it.
They would end up like four lions, when they.
Oh, what a great film!
Yeah, I mean, the tragedy of the tragedy.
It's not
it's a tragedy.
Yeah.
It's a comedy tragedy, right?
Yeah. Tragic comedy.
There you go. It is because they get away with it, and they're going to get away, and they decide to keep all the money and not give it back to the fucking UVF guys.
Okay,
to
now
go on the run.
I'm in.
Right?
I'm in.
And they're up in a hotel and they're waiting to get a plane.
Wait a second, Kieron. Don't fucking blow your beans.
I shouldn't blow.
Yeah, no, but
there is a tragic.
Okay, so we're in. Now we're in.
You never get away. If you
now,
deal
can I
with
just
drugs.
say, let's cast. Casting is very important.
And you've got Northern Ireland in there as well.
Yes.
So you need to cast
serious.
I'm just trying to think. Daniel Day-Lewis. You have to get him. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, he's going to come out and play.
You have to get him.
Is he?
His name is Charlie. How you doing, Charlie? I'm okay. Fucking, where can I get some oxtails? Okay, let's not pay. So, get it, like, Daniel
But
Day-Lewis.
they have to be like 20.
20s, mate.
Or Colin Farrell.
No.
Barry Keoghan.
Barry
Keoghan.
Barry Keoghan, although he comes fully...
I think if you get
I love
some
Barry Keoghan.
unknown actors and give them a chance.
Fuck that.
No, you need to give it a fighting chance. It should, like, in the real world, you would kind of go for unknown actors. But actually, the thing is, there's so much pressure. Yeah.
Well, Kieron, I mean, I fucking want to put an electrical bolt of inspiration up your arse and provide that platform with that film. I want it to be hugely successful and make us all proud as Irish people. Look at that. That is fucking genius. So access the genius section. Don't fuck around. Legacy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've done your legacy bit.
Hey,
I've got to get my legacy right. That's it.
Speaking of legacies, one of my favourite parts of the show is Kieron. Oh, by the way, how long have we been broadcasting for?
An hour and a half.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Feels longer. Now, that's a joke that I do every show. It doesn't work.
Fails every time.
Daniel, my favourite part of the show, it's called Open the Cage, and it's trivia about the wonderful actor Nicolas Cage. Nothing trivial about Nicolas Cage.
Yes. Nicolas Cage. So now Nicolas Cage, he's officially playable. He's officially playable in a video game called Dead by Daylight. And while he was on set filming the role of a lifetime, his performance summoned the entity, a malevolent being of incomprehensible power.
This is from the recent film he played a vampire.
No, it's a video game called Dead by Daylight.
So it's like literally Nicolas Cage, the video game.
Well,
is it his voice?
It's like he's a character put into the video game.
Yeah.
Do they use his voice?
Yeah, they use his likeness and his.
But his real voice, does he voice it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think
an
AI
NPC
can
or
pretend that
He'll be a playable character.
What's his video game called?
Dead by Daylight.
Oh, that's
So,
great.
is
Oh,
it
what do they call non-playable? What do they call those?
NPCs, non-playable characters.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You're
does that
an
mean?
NPC, David.
Because
You hang around Portobello with your cowboy hat and just walk around, giving people quests.
It's so true, isn't it? I'm such an NPC. Oh, I have to read out. Sorry, I have to read this out. So I did a gig there fucking yesterday in the Purty Kitchen. Kieron's gonna fucking love
in Dunleary.
This. Yeah. So the Purty Kitchen, right? Jesus, just let me get this up.
But
right.
did Daniel finish his bit?
Sorry.
Is there any more Nicolas Cage?
Well,
Have you guys seen Pig, by the way?
Yes.
Yes.
What a great picture, right?
Good one.
Apparently he likes that movie the most.
Yeah, because it's a really serious bit of acting.
I didn't understand the part where they're just punching each other in the face.
Yeah.
What's this?
That was a bit odd.
Pig.
That part.
Pig.
With Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, the truffle hunting one.
Yeah. And
Just a recent one.
Yeah, a couple of years
ago.
Yeah.
God, he's done so
Very
many
good.
films. Okay, I just want.
Did Daniel finish?
Fuck me, Hannah. Yes, he did. He told about a video game. That's the trivia about
Dance music.
No. He's in a video game.
I'm just being polite because people are saying
Glass
that
onion.
you should leave that chap alone.
I do.
While he is talking stuff about.
I thought it was very well
Nicolas
articulated,
Cage.
and I think everybody understood that Nicolas Cage has a video game, and it's called
Yeah.
Dead Men Can't
Maybe
Dance.
And
there
it
was
is-
a second part to it.
Is there
there a
part
second
two?
part to it?
Daniel?
Well, no, I mean, no, there's just like, you can use his character in the game, and like one of the things he can do is his second to none acting ability to get deeper into character than ever before. Like, you can use that within the game.
Oh,
Okay, so
Interesting.
repeat what Daniel just said, Hannah.
it's almost meta.
No,
Yeah,
I can't.
yeah.
I just lost.
So even when he does say something, it doesn't matter because you don't understand.
I do understand, but I can't repeat it.
Those headphones are too big for your head. Do you know how small your head is?
David, that's too personal.
Okay.
This
Speak
is
into the
just
microphone,
going-
Hannah, will you? Speak
This
into the
is just
fucking microphone.
sad.
This is painful for me, by the way. So this is like yesterday. I was playing in a place called the Purty Kitchen, right? So this guy sent me a message. I don't want to be mean. So he was at the gig in the Purty Kitchen, and he said, "Don't want to be mean, as I'm a huge fan, but last night was the same." Was the same material as the last two times I've seen you. Right, wait.
Wow.
Same old jokes. And then he says, constructive feedback. Please get new material, as there's no point in me going to your shows again to hear the same routine over and over. Even your notes, because I had notes on stage.
Pain for
He said,
David.
he said, even your notes are threadbare.
Hang on, did you have notes?
Yeah.
Where
You mean,
are
no,
those
hang on a second.
notes?
You've got a book. Is there anything in it?
No, I had a big page and it's all through.
And it's
Even your notes
worn
are
out.
threadbare. They've been used so often. Barely 50 minutes, most of which was spent on the heckler. Because there was a drunk guy and they wouldn't shut up the whole fucking show. You kept looking at your clock or your watch, which made us feel like you didn't want to be there. Any point, and then because I have a gig coming up in the Olympia, any point in booking the Olympia to hear it all again? And he said, remember, this is constructive feedback. Nothing personal, as I believe you're the greatest comedian around.
I think that's
Can I-
brilliant.
Can I just say?
I know,
Can I just say?
touching. I want to invite
need-
that
you-
guy.
you
take
need
to
him.
dinner.
Can I just fucking talk for a
Honestly.
second? Can I just say the world is not enough? I genuinely do appreciate how what a good message, and it was well, and I really do listen to it, and I swear by Thor's hammer, there will be new material in the Olympia this October, 100%, and I need to hear this, and it was said in such a way. Because you know,
Dave,
you ripped me apart.
You've been hearing that for a long time. Am I right? I'm not being mean.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
you
be
are
constructive.
being mean.
I'm trying to be constructive
He
as well.
was constructive. You were
No.
destructive.
I'm just chiming in with.
Destructive. Chime away, my friend. Are you a fucking kettlebell?
I'm trying to. You know, I'm
Are you a fucking bell? Chiming.
David, you get
Dave.
Chiming.
Like him, I'm a fan.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and I appreciate
I'm
that you have the potential
Oh, fuck off.
to have a legacy
Yeah,
of a career.
Okay.
Right? But
By the way, speaking of legacies and careers, another new section of the show is Hannah's 1 minute of stand-up.
Am I doing it
Yes,
right now?
you fucking
Oh my
right.
God.
a moment of sit-down comedy.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy. Are you ready with this? Okay, well, hang on a second. Let me just set this up.
And a bit of
For the
music
past 2 weeks, Hannah has been doing 1 minute of stand-up. Let me time it as well, so Hannah doesn't go over time, because we can't have that happening.
Well,
And
just be
No, there's no chance you'll
kind.
cut her off as soon
okay,
before she gets to the
so
punchline.
here we
anyway.
have 1 minute of stand-up from Hannah Andrews, ladies and gentlemen, and that's why we're not laughing.
Into the microphone.
So, as you might know, I am a makeup artist and I work in RTE. And recently, I became part-time staff. But I was the one who was on those bogus freelance contract. And I'm telling to you, RTE does not want to pay up. They're kicking and screaming. But forget about it. I don't care anymore. I'm so proud of RTE because they put out the best show ever. And who is in that show? The creme de la creme of RTE. So,
On Oireachtas TV.
Shut up!
it's my stand-up. Stop
Oh, sorry. I
hassling
thought
me.
we were having a
heckling.
conversation.
No,
sorry. I'm
you-
not heckling.
So, creme de la creme of RTE. And who is gonna be in the next episode? The best star RTE ever produced, Mr. Ryan Tuberty, and his best agent, the real DG, Noel Kelly. And the best thing is, we're not paying them $25,000. They're coming for free. And who is this? This is, as Nicolas Cage would say, winning.
Yeah, that's the best one so far, Hannah.
That's true.
You did it, Hannah.
Thank
fucking
you.
did it.
Thank
You
you.
killed.
I need it.
Yeah, you need a drink. Well
I need
done.
a drink.
Yeah, well done. That's great. That was really good.
A small one.
Jack,
Sorry,
what do you-
I'm
what-
sorry. I wasn't trying to interrupt. I
Ah,
just
it
realised
doesn't
that.
matter.
Yeah, I think that reveals a lot by Kieron
Oh,
Walsh.
come on.
Again,
No.
he sense upward
wasn't-
movement, wants to
I wasn't
chop
sure that
them
it was.
down.
Hey,
I thought we were having a
yeah.
conversation.
No,
I didn't realise it was a bit of
that-
stand-up that was going on.
That's okay. But like,
Okay,
you don't
I
need
just
to go
will say
through.
that you did go over time. But listen,
Oh, God.
can I, Daniel, Jack, Conspiracy Corner, thank you.
Today on Conspiracy Corner, we go back to 588 AD, back to Jerusalem. Has anyone heard of the Ark of the Covenant?
Yes.
Yes,
So it's
we all
where-
did.
It's where the Ten Commandments are kept, and it's very important for the Jewish people, the diaspora. So Jerusalem was getting conquered by the Babylonians. So that was that's like the area where Iraq is now. And so the Ark of the Covenant was kept in Jerusalem. So they knew they were coming, so they took it out and they put it down into Ethiopia. Apparently, that's the story. So apparently, 2,000 years later, you can see the Ark of the... Well, you can't see the Ark of the Covenant, but it's in Ethiopia right now, apparently. But no one can enter it because it's kept under lock and key by virgin monks. One
Virgin monk.
One
Virgin
virgin monk. And once he dies, the next virgin monk has to stay there at all times and keep it under lock and key, and no one can look at it.
And this is the Ark of the Covenant that was that Indiana Jones was in search of.
Yes. And there's a new movie out, so
Yes.
you know
Yeah.
it's trendy.
And what's in it?
The Ten Commandments, but the original on the stone.
The
Ten
tablets,
Commandments.
basically.
Yeah, the tablets. Yeah,
Right, okay.
yeah. So
It's on the tablet, so he is.
yeah.
Can I just say thank you so much, Kieron J Walsh, for
Thank you,
being on the
David.
23rd episode of And That's Why We're Not Together. I think I really
24th.
24th.
This
I
is
really
24th.
enjoyed this. It was great having a chat, and I think to the fans of the Savage Eye, they'll get some insights that they.
Have we unearthed and put to bed some things?
Yeah, we have.
Have
we have.
Have wounds been opened up again?
I think the wounds were well healed.
They're well healed.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
scars that
Yeah.
we proudly wear.
Proudly wear.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I think you can laugh at them now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Jesus, otherwise you'd cry.
before we end,
Yes.
how about you say your favorite sketch from Savage Eye,
Oh, that's a good one.
or I don't know, you're not necessarily your favorite.
well,
but
my
they're most
favorite
rememberable.
one.
Sleepy School, is that your favourite one?
The Sleepy School one was pretty special.
I starred in that. Huh?
Jack starred in that one because I for most of my school years, I would be in bed and get up, you have to go to school, and you just the thought of having to go to school and just the idea of wheels being on your bed and just being gently transported to a school where you could stay sleeping, and then at the end of the year,
It's very seductive, isn't
at
it?
the end of the year, the only question you have to answer is, are you happy?
Yeah.
and if you're not, the original was, and if you're not happy, you go on to the next year, but the teacher is never seen again, and then you just see the teacher being hung by the neck.
That wasn't in the sketch, though.
I know, but
Yeah.
that was the idea.
Oh, okay.
We thought
They
it was
were
too.
him fading into the
Yeah,
background.
but I loved that one.
Once upon a time, there was a land where children didn't have to get up in the morning to go to school. Because their beds would automatically take them. The doors of the classroom were wide enough to accommodate the sleeping school children. And the teachers were so nice, they waited for the children to wake up before they started the class. And if the child didn't want to wake up, that was okay too. And at the end of the year, there was an exam that consisted of one question. Are you happy? If the child answered yes, he would go on to the next year. If the child answered no, he would still go on to the next year, but the teacher would never be seen again.
And I think that one, it's almost like what I'd imagine, school life in Denmark is like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've got it all going on over there in Denmark. Those days.
Denmark is so advanced.
Yeah.
We lived there for 6 years.
Yeah. I came over to see
I know
it,
you did.
remember?
Yeah.
And what about yours? What's yours?
Oh,
That's right. We went to Aarhus Festival.
Yes.
And
we gigged together.
Were you going out with Alicia at the time?
No.
Oh yeah, because you hooked up with some girl who lived in a commune in Aarhus.
That's
she
right.
was very cute. That
Yeah,
one. Oh yeah, you remember there was some street performance and we jumped in and started writhing around on the floor. We were having good fun. It was good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were going mad, like.
Yeah, it was good.
Favorite sketch from the Savage Eye. Obviously, I have a soft spot for ones where Harper, my son, was snatched up. But I thought the baby boozers, the baby boozers. Remember the baby boozers? Deep in the streets, in the
Oh, that's because your
the rough
kids were
streets.
in it.
No, but it's also just the idea of these really tiny children, like 2 and 3 years old, hanging about in street corners with cans of beer.
Were you in that one, Jack?
Yeah, that was
You were in that one.
Portobello Square.
But for some, it's too late. Children as young as 3 3/4 drink beer openly in the working class slums of Foxrock in Dublin. How are the government going to deal with the shocking phenomenon of Ireland's baby boozers?
Yeah. And they were dealing drugs. Remember, they were they were dealing drugs.
But your love for your children is blinding you, my friend.
That was a funny one, though.
There was a funny. I mean, Harper and the prawn dance.
You see what I mean? Like, he's crazy. He can't see anything. That's it.
No. I mean, listen, they're not necessarily the best sketches.
Yeah, but you love that one.
But they were funny. I mean, they still make me giggle.
Yeah.
We
really got full value out of Harper and Jarvis.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And Jack.
As soon as Harper became too heavy to snatch, Jarvis was pulled in. Same hair, looked the same. Nobody will know.
Yeah. And what about Jack? Do you have your favorite sketch?
My favorite was I forget what her name was. The young one. We did the one where it's shove it up your hole.
That was with Tasha.
Tasha.
Now don't play too far.
We won't.
Don't forget we're cooking for you tonight.
I'll be washing up.
How come you two are so good to me? 'Cause we love you, Mom.
Bye. Bye.
Be careful. How are you? Darling, what happened? I saw up your mom bag. State you.
Give us €2 for a hostel.
Fucking gay bag.
Stick it up your hole.
Was it the TV show?
No, it was. Oh, that was funny as well.
That was funny.
Me and you when we were watching the telly.
Yeah.
And
the life story.
They were drinking cans watching the telly. That's a funny one.
But the one with Tasha when they're going out and
they live in a rough area and they're like, okay, bye, Mom, and then they come back.
No, they go.
The two kids come back.
I love
and
you.
you're smoking a cigarette and some spitting and stuff.
And it's like shove it up your hole.
Shove it up your hole.
And listen, it sort of turns out, Jack behaving like that whenever he's not he's upset or he doesn't like, he starts speaking in a different...
Shut up, will you? Daniel, what about your favorite sketch, Daniel? Do you have one?
I don't know. For some reason, I kind of like the time travelers. I just think it's funny, like just the idea.
It's a good gag.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
What about Hannah?
What about me?
Yeah.
I must say I love all the sketches about Gardays. I think.
But there was also a very good one, if I remember, with you and Pat and what's the name of the girl who she writes comedy now and she does a bit of stand up still, but not. She's got big eyes.
Yes. Kelly, Sonia Kelly.
Sonia. So Sonia comes running out, holding Jarvis as it happens. Comes running out. I've got to go to the hospital. I've got to go to the hospital. Can somebody look after my baby? And you come up as, I'm very good to kids and all. And then the priest comes on.
I
look after your baby.
I look after your baby.
That's how much society has changed.
Gives the junkie. That's kind of genius. And the School of Hard Knocks when
Oh yeah. Well, the Nyardi, it's funny, that really struck a chord. People just drove crazy about one Nyar, the two Nyar.
I love Gardaí.
Okay, can I just say thank you very much to Kieron J Walsh and good luck in the future endeavours, and thank you to Hannah and my two princes, Jack and Daniel. Play us out there, son.